At Mwanje village in Lungalunga, Kwale County. We find these women from Ayungi Mwanje Mangrove Conservation Group on their way to the mangrove restoration site. As they dig these trenches in this part of the forest that was once degraded during the El Nino rains in 1997 and climate change, the song continues. Blessington Maganga, who is the Kwale County Conservator of Forest, says that after research was carried out by the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute, it was found out that this way of restoring mangroves, known as hydrology mangrove restoration, was found suitable to restore sections of the degraded mangrove forest, which are covered by silt from mainland.
Katika kaunti ya Kwale tuko na misitu ya mikoko ambao kuwa ni hektia 8,400, ambako tunasema ni kama 14% ya mikoko inayopatikana katika nchi ya Kenya iko katika hili gatuzi la Kwale. Na katika hizi sehemu za misitu ya mikoko kuna maeneo ambako yanaonekana wazi, ambao kwa kitaalamu tunasema ni degraded forest areas. Viashirio ni kwamba zamani yalikuwa na maeneo ya mikoko, na sasa kwa sababu ya mabadiliko ambako yanatokea katika mazingira, yamekuwa si mazingira mazuri kwa mikoko kuendelea kukua hapo.
Sections of the forest had turned out to be like a desert after heavy rains and flooding of 1997 to 1998 El Nino phenomenon.
Tope jingi limetoka sehemu zile za bara ama sehemu zile kando kando ya bahari zikaletwa hapa hivi na ile maji El Nino. Imeweza kubadilisha hali ya mchanga ama udongo kutoka ule udongo ambao tunasema ni udongo wenye rutuba ikafikia udongo ambao tunasema ni depositions ambao kuwa hauna rutuba nzuri sana kwa mikoko kukua.
Mangroves grow at a place where there's water, but this is a periodic water that comes in and goes out. But when we have El Nino, we see water staying in the mangrove areas for a long time. And remember, they are breathing through their roots. So once the system is used to a certain period of time, there's water and then the water goes out. But when this water stays longer and it comes and stays longer, it tends to block the breathing system of the mangroves. Like human beings, you can only be able to stay underwater for a certain time period. And with the mangroves the same, they cannot stay in that period for a long. So once the roots die, the breathing system is distracted, and that's when we lose the mangrove forest.
This way of restoration of mangroves is said to bear fruit in Vanga section of the mangrove forest within Kwale County.
Wakati wa kiangazi na siku hizi tunakuwa na majira marefu ya kiangazi, ni kwamba ile chumvi salinity level katika mchanga na kuwa extreme, na kwa sababu iko extreme mikoko inadumaa badala iendelee kukua inaathirika.
Tumechambua hii mitaro ili tupate lile tope ambapo kwamba ule mti utamea. Huu mti unamea kwenye tope. So tunajaribu kuchimbua ili tupate lile tope ambalo tumetafuta. Ukiona huo mchanga tumetafuta ile level ya kule kwa bahari, kwa miti. Ndio ile level tuna imani itamea hiyo miti.
Bahari ikija, maji yakiingia, hatimaye yanatoka na ile chumvi ambayo tunasema ni excess. Na tunasema mazingira mazima yamebadilika, mikoko inaanza kuendelea sasa.
The local community is upbeat about this way of mangrove restoration, as they will end up being beneficiaries of the project in the near future.
Ibidi tuchimbe na mkono, lakini si kazi rahisi. Ilianza mwaka jana, sasa tuko na miezi 7 kutoka tulipoanza. Na tutafanya kazi ya kupanda hii miti kwa sababu iko na manufaa kwetu na kizazi kijacho.
The Ayungi Mwanje Mangrove Conservation Group is dominated by women, since men are involved in fishing and spend much of their time in the ocean.
Iki kijiji chenyewe kiko hivyo. Wamama ni wengi, wababa wajua ni wengi, lakini wako na shughuli nyingi. Wengine ukiwaambia wanasema hiyo kazi yangu ambayo niko nayo haiwezi mimi niende nikapande, alafu niende nikavue, alafu niende nikatafute wako na kazi zao tofauti.
As a way of raising income, the group also is involved in propagation of mangrove seedlings, which they sell to organizations involved in the restoration of degraded areas. Mwanje was the host of this year's The International Day for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystems, where government officials from the Ministry of Environment and other stakeholders in the conservation space took part.
Ile target tuko nayo Kwale ili to achieve, so that we can achieve the 30% tree cover in this country, is to plant 300 million in the next 10 years.
Given that coastal communities heavily rely on the blue economy, conservation of mangroves is critical to sustain their economic activities.
It is also the place where young fish run for refuge. In the mangrove areas, run from the large fish. 1 hectare of mangrove can sequester over 10,000 tons of carbon dioxide. 1 hectare of mangroves protect over 3,000 fish species. Yeah. So those are just some of the importance of this ecosystem.
Mangrove forests are found in the 5 coastal counties of Kwale, Mombasa, Kilifi, Lamu and Tana River. Mombasa County has the most degraded mangrove forest.
We have about 61,000 hectares of mangrove forest. But most of these mangroves are found in Lamu County. 60% of them are found in Lamu County. And that's an area where we are also seeing a huge dependence on mangrove forest. A lot of people in Lamu depend on the mangrove ecosystem for their livelihood. So even when we had the national ban on the harvest of mangrove, it was the first place that it was lifted. It was lifted just after 1 year because of the high dependence and the outcry of the local community.
Though efforts to restore these important ecosystems have been ongoing, much needs to be done on the ground as the mangroves continues to face threats.
Mangroves are found at the interface between the land and the sea, so they are threatened also with aspect of oil pollution, for example. Once they are affected, it takes a long time to bring back the ecosystem as it was.
Researchers, conservationists and scientists involved in the mangrove are worried that the El Nino phenomenon expected this year could end up having a negative impact on the mangroves as it was witnessed in 1997 to 1998 El Nino rains.
We've had areas that have been affected tremendously by the El Nino 1997, 1998, to mention a few, Mwanje for instance, and we have been trying to bring back the system to its original, but it's taking us a lot of effort. The recovery rate is quite very low. Hopefully, it won't have tremendous impact as it had before, but these are things that are beyond man-made. Yeah, so we have no control over them, but if we put our effort into protecting those that protecting those that are brought by human, then we can manage to rescue part of our mangrove ecosystem.
For now, conservation efforts are ongoing. Dan Kaburu, K24, Kwale County.